Hello to all my subscribers, welcome back. And if you're not a subscriber, what's wrong with you? I'm going to go through my top 10 recommendations for resources to learn languages today. I'm going to try something different on the channel. I'm going to try to do technology on one day and language learning on another, and where they overlap we'll stick them in where appropriate. But today I just want to go through the 10 places that I think would help you most when you're starting to learn a language, to find things to learn, resources. Now, these aren't specific to any language. These are things that will help you with pretty much any language. So, how do you start? Well, one of the things I would recommend you start is with this Work Audiobook. Now, Work Audiobook allows you to play MP3 phrases, and it will show you the words. It will play the words out to you, and you can repeat it again and again and again. So this is extremely useful to practice when you're shadowing, or you're trying to fix your pronunciation, or just learn the words. Now, also, this supports subtitles. So if you have access to subtitle files, which you can generate yourself, I have videos on how to do that. This is a really excellent way to listen to an audiobook and to repeat it. I mean, it'll do clever things like auto-repeat every phrase 3 times before moving on to the next one. Or it'll just infinitely repeat one phrase again and again and again until you're used to it. Now, that's one of the first books, one of the first resources. The second one, which I recommend, and I talk about quite a bit, is Anki. Now, Anki is a flashcard program, which is a spaced repetition software. And so it will show you the word just as you're sentence just as you're about to forget it, in order to remind you how to do it. Now, I have done a video on Anki, I believe, as well, so you will check that out. But it's available for Windows, Macintosh, Linux, iPhone, Android, all of the above. And you can create your own decks. There are decks that are pre-made that you can download for many, many, many languages. So spaced repetition, this is really, really worth it. It's worth having, and I highly recommend it. It comes with some caveats, like you can become a torture device if you try and learn too many words at once, because don't forget that if you learn 50 words today, and you set it to do 50 words, it'll show you 50 words today, but it'll also show you 50 new words tomorrow, plus the 50 words. And the third day, you're looking at 150, so it's exponential growth sometimes. So you want to be careful. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is a place called Language Transfer. And if you've ever used the sort of Michel Thomas courses, you'll be familiar with this. But the difference here is that these are free, and they are available for many, many languages. They don't have a huge range of languages, but they do have, the major ones like French and Italian and German and Greek and Spanish. So it's worth having a look at. These are like the Michel Thomas ones. They are really quite good, and they're free. So if you're learning any of these languages, I recommend you have a look. There is an app, and it is just supported by donations. So definitely have a look at that if you're learning any of these languages. Now, when you're learning a language, you oftentimes need a book. And you can get textbooks for free on the internet, which are public domain books. And before I show you that site, let me talk about books. For this channel, I'm an author, and it really helps me if you were to have a look at my website, xgipublishing.com, and follow the links and buy one of my books if you're interested in reading. It's really, really helpful for me. It supports the channel, and it's win-win because you get a book to read. And, you know, so great for everyone. Now, as far as books goes, there is this link here. I will put all the links in the description. But OER is Open Educational Resources. Now, I just typed in Korean and got a huge list of Korean activity books, intermediate, conversational, etc. All of these are available, and they are Creative Commons. So you know, you can get these for free at no cost to you. And there are many languages in here, so you can just do a search for the one that you want, and then just pick them and use them. So as you can see, many French. So they have French and Italian and just tons of resources are available here as textbooks for you to use for these courses. Now, obviously, if you're going to talk in a language, it's helpful to speak to a native speaker. And one of the best sites I've found is this one, Conversation Exchange. Now, when you log into Conversation Exchange, you can do searches for people in many languages. So if we, you know, someone who speaks, wow, let's pick Chinese. Actually, no, let's pick Cornish. Well, Creole. Let's see if anybody speaks Creole. And they're learning, let's say, English. And we do a quick search. And there you go. There are these people. They speak Creole and they're trying to learn English. And there you can contact them, send them a message, and arrange to do conversation via WhatsApp, Pen Pal, on this site itself, using chat, Skype, etc., Messenger, Facebook. So there's lots of people and lots of ways to interact, and I highly recommend that if you're looking for a conversation partner, go here. Now, it's all free. They run it through web advertisements, but they're not intrusive, and I have to say they are very good at culling out the, you know, riffraff who are not interested in language learning. So it's well worth a visit. And I've done many conversation exchanges, and most of the people I've met have been through this website. Now, more books. Once you've done the textbooks and you're used to reading in the language a bit more, it's worth going to Project Gutenberg, because Project Gutenberg doesn't just have books in English, it has it in many languages. And so you can search by language. The site's a bit slow today, or most one. But you can do an advanced search, and let's say we just want to look at, let's just pick one at random. Let's just pick Russian. So we do a quick search, and it'll return many results in the Russian language. And this allows you to read books. Now, most of these, or all of these, are going to be in electronic format. So if you get one of these, they will come as HTML. You can get an EPUB, you can get a Kindle version, you can just get the plain text. You can have these sent to your Dropbox account or your Google Drive account, or wherever you need to pick up. Or you can just download them and load them into your Kindle or your phone or whatever you need to do. Now, this is really useful. You can get these books as text files, and you can use them with the LWT program, which I have a video, and I'll put that link in somewhere, about how to install Learning with Text. But that's worth doing, and using that to increase your vocabulary. So this is after you've done the textbooks and you want to start to read some native materials, then Project Gutenberg is a great place to go because it has lots of books. Now, some people argue that it's, the language is a bit older because these are sort of public domain books, but to be honest, if you're just building vocabulary, it's not really a problem, and it's a good use of your time. Now, the next thing I want to touch on is the Yogic website. I think I'm pronouncing that right. A lot of people search for the FSI websites, and I gotta say, there are many people who are doling out the FSI or the Foreign Service Institute public domain stuff. But this is way better because it doesn't just do FSI. He has the Defense Language Institute. He has Peace Corps stuff. He has audio collections. There are programs to browse all this. He's done digitized tutorials. There's other language resources. There's even Cortina Materials, which is a company that went bust, language company. So he's got an amazing amount of just resources available on this website. They're all free to download. So, it's worth a visit. And so the FSI course was one that everybody sort of doles out, but these others are more interesting. So for when I was trying to do Swahili, the only people that had it were the Peace Corps. And so coming to this site allowed me to find some Peace Corps resources for Swahili. Now, you're learning the language, you're doing well, you're learning to read, but your pronunciation needs some work, then you might want to come to Youglish. Now, you type in the word that you want to use, and it searches through YouTube to find where that word has been used, and it allows you to hear it. So I've typed in vous in French.
Appris à découvrir qui il était.
Oui, mais c'est ce que je crois que j'essaie de restituer, parce que sinon je vois pas ce que j'aurais pu écrire de plus.
Or if you want to hear, I don't know, vous.
Le sujet sur cette cause, c'est que je vois déjà certains dans la salle parler, et je suis persuadé qu'il y a au moins un tiers de la salle.
Now, you can also type in Korean words or Russian words or whatever you want, and it will try and find some. So in fact, if we nip back here and copy one of these Russian words, I don't speak Russian. I have no idea if it's going to be in here. But we'll see. Apparently it is. There we go.
И великорусской буржуазии, вплоть до права этих наций отделиться от России. Поэтому мы...
So as you can see, you can get lots of pronunciation here. If you were doing English, for example, if you're learning English, it gives you a choice of US English, UK English, Australian English. So it's a very comprehensive thing to help you with your pronunciation. Now, I said I was due 10. This is number 9. This is forum.languagelearners.org. This is the website that I'm the administrator of, and we have a thing called the Master List of Resources. And the Master List of Resources has Spanish, French, Italian, Afrikaans, Russian, Turkish, Cambodian, Latin, Korean, Zulu, you name it, we've probably got it in here. Now, if I just pick one of these, let's go to, well, we did Russian, let's go to Russian, and we click on it, you will see that there's a pretty comprehensible list of courses, grammars, dictionaries, books to read, periodicals, films, television, courses, all of this stuff, and most of the languages in the Master List of Resources have this. But more importantly, you can talk to other language learners. So for example, we have currently almost 10,000 members. We have loads of posts and loads of topics, and you can ask questions, get advice, write your own blog post and everything. So this is an amazing resource for language learners, and I highly recommend you check it out and visit us here. Now, the last thing I want to talk about isn't actually on the internet. It is your local library. So the number one place is your local library. So if we go through this list, these 9, great, and you can get to them from the internet, but your local library will have textbooks, audio books, CDs, it'll have Pimsleur courses, Assamil books, Michel Thomas. It'll have almost all of that, and if they don't have it, you can usually order it. So your local library is probably the best resource. And it's not going to be, the internet or YouTube or any of that. Your local library is your best bet. Now, if you don't have a local library, these other 9 things will also help you, and I recommend you check them all out. But your local library is probably the number one place to go. So, just a quick recap for you. Free courses on language transfer and the OER Common Resources for textbooks. These 2 are probably the place to start your journey. If you one of these courses, start with that. If you don't have one of those courses, go here and try and find a textbook that you can use. Do those 2 first. Then get yourself Work Audiobook, because you can you can download audiobooks. And I'll give you a bonus. LibriVox. Now, this is a bonus number 11. You can get free audiobooks here, and in different languages. So you can search by author, title, or language. So you can find books and listen to them. So you can use these. They're all free. You can download the whole book or sections of the book or whatever. They're in MP3 format, which means you can load them into Work Audiobook and you can listen to them sentence by sentence and practice that way. So number 11 and number 1 work well together. Anki is great, and it will work well with your vocabulary that you're getting from the Project Gutenberg or from your textbooks, to help you remember vocabulary and words. And so I just want to leave you today with those 11 things that can help you kickstart your language learning. And also, there's lots of resources. If you go to our website, and if you go to the resources and the master list of resources, you can find even more intermediate and advanced topics and resources available. So television shows and all sorts of stuff that are just ready for you to have a go. Right. Well, if you like this sort of thing, please like, subscribe, and share the video around. And it's really, really helpful if you share the video around to everyone you know. And if you haven't subscribed, please do. As a channel update, I'm just going to try and kind of separate any of the technology stuff from the language learning stuff, and I plan in future to try and put the language stuff out on a Tuesday and the technology stuff on a Thursday, so that depending on which bit you prefer of my channel, you know when that content's going to come out. So once again, thank you very much. Please have a look at my website and buy one of my books, and if you do buy one of my books, let me know. I'm really interested in your reviews and your opinion, and so contact me. Thank you very much, and I'll see you soon.